Hello my night wolves and welcome back to another video on my channel. I just wanted to make a quick update video. I am happy to say that I have finished therapy. I guess I do want to share it with you because I want to tell you that therapy does work. Okay, so as you all know, I went through a hard patch in my life. Actually, I've been through a lot of hard patches in my life. And I had a depression and I have a little bit of anxiety. So last year I decided that I wanted to get into therapy because I did therapy when I was in school because I really needed it at the time as well because I was very depressed. And I think the school saw that I was depressed and I needed help, so they got me into therapy. And I didn't tell you guys that, but I was 13 years old and things of course happened. I ended up in the hospital, and the thing is, at the time I didn't get into therapy right away. It was when I got into high school that I got into therapy. Everything started to bottle up. I got into high school, things at home weren't so great. My life just was starting to spiral out of control, and the school realized that and got me into therapy, luckily. And because I started acting out, giving the teacher attitude, but the thing is, the teacher that I had, she was a menace. She would pile on homework. She would pile homework, like stacks of homework on us, expecting us to do it within a night. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, I'm not gonna be able to get all this homework done by tomorrow. You're freaking crazy, teacher. But she didn't care. She would just pile on the homework, expect you to get it done by tomorrow. And I'm like, so her doing that, whatever was going on at home, and then me having a disability, I don't know, because I didn't deal with me having a disability, I didn't deal with it. I was kind of I bottled it up, and I didn't really, talk about it and how I felt about it, and so like that, so I just held on to it. So that, and then things at home, and then the teacher piling on a whole bunch of homework, and then I was just done. And I started to act out in class. I started to, I physically had a mental breakdown in class. I was sitting there and the teacher was asking me where my homework was. I told her I didn't do it, and she asked me why I didn't do it, and I'm like, do you really expect me to get this big stack of freaking homework done by tomorrow or by today? That's not happening. And I legitimately went off on her because I was just so tired of her just stacking on the homework. She stacks on all this homework and expects us to get it done within the night. And we get home, and when you get home, you don't want to really do homework immediately. You want to relax a bit and then eventually get into doing homework. But no, it's once you get home, you have to do your homework. And I don't know, everyone in the class had a problem with this teacher. No one liked her at all. There was only one girl who kissed her ass, and oh my god, I freaking hated that girl. She was so freaking annoying. She loved to kiss teachers' ass, and I was just like, girl, stop. It's so gross. Ugh. I hated it. I hated it. She's like, oh, you're so pretty, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, girl, she ain't pretty. She was nothing to look at. We used to call her, sad to say, I was I'm a lot different than I was when I was younger, and I was kind of mean. I have to say, I was a mean child. I wasn't mean, I was nice, but I also had a mean streak to me. Ugh, and I hated it, and I'm just definitely a lot different than I was when I was younger, but I had a mean streak to me. And we used to call our teacher Bug-Eye Freak, because her eyes were legitly popping out of her head. They were legitly popping out of her head, and so we called her Bug-Eye Freak, because her eyes were legitly popping out of her head. And I feel kind of bad about it. But like, she was just the worst teacher I had ever had. But anyways, sorry, I'm getting way off topic here. But yeah, so she piled on the homework, and I just had a freaking mental breakdown in class. I legitimately started sobbing my eyes out, screaming at the teacher, and I just wanted to hit her, but I knew I couldn't hit her because she was my teacher. And so I sat down at my desk crying my eyes out, and I'm just sitting there scribbling on a piece of paper because I want to punch her or hit her so freaking bad, and I know I can't do that. So I'm just scribbling the shit out of this piece of paper. And that's when they realized that I was having a mental breakdown. And like, I don't think it was a mental breakdown. I just think it was a breakdown, and I was just having, like, I was crying, and I know I wanted to hit her, and I knew I couldn't hit her. So they finally got me into therapy, and then the therapist started talking to me and asking me what was going on and stuff like that, and it made me feel better after talking with her. But man, I still hated that teacher. I wanted out of that class so freaking bad that I worked my ass off. And I finally got out of her classroom. I was so proud when they finally said, you're going to regular classes, and I'm like, thank the freaking Lord, I could get out of her class. And the thing is, this biatch had the audacity to say, oh, if you go into regular classes, you will get the same amount of homework. No, honey, no. No. That was so wrong, because you know how much homework I got from being in regular classes? Not very much. Maybe one sheet of paper. One freaking sheet. Maybe 2 to 3. But not a whole fucking stack of freaking homework like she did. I'm like, you're such a lying biatch. You legitimately sat there and said that I was gonna get the same amount of homework out in the real world, technically, because I was in a special ed class because I have a disability. I have a learning disability and a walking disability, obviously. That's why I was in that classes, because it was mostly for people with learning disabilities than it was for like other disabilities. Actually, no, it was a mix of both, because there was people in wheelchairs in that class and stuff like that. But yeah, but I was mainly in there for my disability, for my learning disability. So I got out of that class, and it was such a stress reliever. It was so freaking good to get out of that class. And then after I got out of that class, I started not having those like outbursts of anger and frustration. So I stopped therapy because I got better. And the therapist told my principal, I guess, because he was the one that suggested I do therapy. So the therapy saw that I got a lot better, talked to my principal, and they said that I didn't have to go to therapy anymore. And I'm like, great, that's great news. And then I got out of, then I graduated high school, and life turned upside down once again, and I just freaking spiraled out of control once again, and life got really tough. And then I got my mentor, and life got a little bit better, and I wasn't doing so great. I was happy and stuff like that, that I got my mentor, because I got to get out of the house and get back into college, but I still had things to deal with. So I got into therapy, and I knew I needed to get into therapy, and I wanted to get back into therapy. And I told her that, I'm like, I want to get back into therapy. I feel like it'll help. And she's like, okay. So I went to therapy and started talking about all the dark stuff and really airing everything out from my past up to my present. And it's so good. It was so good. I don't know how else to describe it other than it was the best thing I could ever done. So if you think therapy does not work, therapy does work. I've said this in it was my tattoo video. I said this in my video and I still stand by it. If you are thinking about going to therapy, but you think therapy is not going to work, it will work. You have to just keep looking for therapists. Like, people try to get into therapy multiple times and never succeed, or they get into therapy and they feel like it's not doing nothing for you. It's because you have to find the right therapist for you. I got lucky and found the right therapist right away. Sometimes it will take you multiple times to go to different therapists to find the right fit for you. So continue looking, even if you're ready to give up, because you will find out the one therapist that is perfect for you and will help you with everything that you are going through. And if you can't afford therapy because you don't have Medicare or something like that, there are hotlines out there that you can call if you're going through a rough time, and you can talk to them. You can call them or text them. If you don't want to call them, you can text them and be like, hey, this is what's going on, and they are going to be there for you and to talk to you about anything and everything that you need to, just so they're there for you and your mental health. So please, if you're going through a rough time, call or text. I don't know, like, the numbers. I know for different areas, all the numbers are different, so look up any, like, hotlines. Like, there's suicide hotline. You might not be suicidal. Even though you're not suicidal, they are still going to be there. You can text them, even if you're not thinking about that. Even though you're not suicidal, you can still text them. You can still text them, you can still call them and be like, hey, I'm going through something rough right now. I need somebody to talk to. And they will talk to you. Even if you're not thinking about that, you can still call them and still text them and be like, hey, I'm going through something. I can't talk to my mom. I can't talk to my best friend. I need someone to talk to. Can I talk to you? And they will be like, yeah, I'm here. What's up? And they will talk to you. So don't think that you can't call them or text them just because you're not suicidal. You can talk to them even if you're not suicidal. If you're looking for a therapist, look for one. Find a therapist that's perfect for you. If you feel like if one isn't suiting you, then go and look for another one until you find that therapist that is perfect for you. So yeah, I finished therapy today. We've been talking about this for a couple of weeks. She's like, I feel like you're at a good point to not come and see me, but I'm not going to end this. You have to be the one to end it. And I'm like, okay. And then when she first brought it up, I'm like, I don't think I'm ready. And she's like, okay, that's fine. So I kept seeing her, and then she brought it up again. She's like, I'm not trying to push you out or anything, but I just wanted to let you know that I feel like you're okay to, not see me anymore. And she's like, don't feel like I'm trying to push you up, because I'm not. And she's like, I just want to let you know that I feel like you're in a great place. And I'm like, okay. And I felt like, okay, yeah, maybe I should stop. But then I'm like, I don't know, I guess I had a little bit anxiety over it. So I told her, no, I'm not ready for it. She's like, okay, that's fine. Just let me know. I just wanted to let you know that I feel like you're in a good spot. I'm like, okay. And then today I saw her, and I talked to her about everything and anything that I needed. And then we started running out of things to talk about. And I see her for a whole hour, and I only saw her for half an hour today. And she's like, okay, you want to reschedule? And I'm like, no, I think I'm good. And she's like, oh, okay. And I'm like, yeah, so I'm finished with therapy, but she said if I needed her in the future, if anything goes haywire, that I obviously am saving her number, I'm not deleting it, but she said if I needed her in the future, if anything goes weird or haywire or my life starts spiraling out of control, then I can come and talk to her and speak with her at any given time. So I could text her at any time and be like, hey, I need to talk to you. Can I talk to you? Or come make a day where I can come and talk to you. And she also said that if I really needed to talk to her and I couldn't wait until the day that we scheduled, then I can FaceTime her and talk to her. So that's awesome. But yeah, so I'm finished with therapy, and it's such a big thing for me, I feel like. Like, I have so much going on right now, and it's all good things. It's all really good things. My life is like so much better now. I feel like my life is just heading in a direction that I'm excited for, and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm graduating college, as y'all know. I've been saying that constantly. I'm sorry, I'm probably sounding really annoying, but like, I was so excited. You guys don't know, because I've been through so much to get to this point. If you went through what I went through, then you'll probably understand too, because I started college and it was only supposed to be 2 years, but then I ended up having to take what was supposed to be 1 year off. It ended up being almost 3 years of me not going to college. I was going to do college over the computer, but I tried it once before when I went to take the year off, what was supposed to be a year off. I had decided to try out taking courses online, and I ended up failing that class because I didn't have anyone to help me. So yeah, so I ended up failing that class. So I didn't end up taking online courses because I knew that I couldn't handle online courses, because I'm more of a person who does one-on-one than doing it by myself. Now, it is technically one-on-one because you can like message the teacher or FaceTime them or whatever, but I need it one-on-one, as in the person needs to be sitting next to me, explaining everything to me and all that stuff like that. I don't know, it didn't work out. It just didn't work out, me doing classes online. So yeah, that's why I didn't take online classes, because I can't handle it. Part of my learning disability, it's how it is. Anyways, so yeah, I took 3 years off, and now I'm back into college, and I'm finishing it, and I'm just super excited for it, and I can't help but to remind everyone that I'm graduating, because I'm super freaking excited for it, and it's the best thing in the world right now. But yeah, that is probably the end of the video. I just want to let you guys know that I finished therapy, and it feels really good to have finished therapy. And just to let you know that therapy actually does work, because I've been through it. But yeah, I hope you guys are having a great day. And this is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys did, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Ring that bell if you want to see more videos from me. Subscribe if you want to. And I'll see all you beautiful night loves in the next video. Goodbye.